automatically then set up a psychic attack that chemically begins to attack those organs that would make you male. So obviously cutting out the prostate is not the answer because it makes you impotent. It definitely diminishes the sperm count. Not because the testicles are not making sperm, but the sperm can no longer be directly deposited in the woman's vagina because now they get distributed into the bladder. That's what happens. When that happens, now it also makes you prone for autoimmune diseases because the sperm and your bloodstream have never met. So in the bladder, when the sperm now has access to the bladder, because normally it does not when the capsule of the prostate has not been interrupted, the bloodstream is like, oh my goodness, well, what is this? We've never seen this before. We have no idea what it got to be a foreign invader. So now the immune system becomes activated, and little missiles, which we call antibodies, now are made against the sperm. And wherever they're coming from, the missiles are activated to destroy that area. So then we see these men begin to have all kind of funny problems go on, etc., because of the fact that they had misperceptions of who they are and how they should function, which is something that needs to be purified and clarified within the communication between their emotional and mental self, not to be repressed with the drug. They give you estrogen for this, not to have it cut out, but to actually deal with the mental emotional conflict. But now I think this gets very interesting because when individuals are not recognizing that it is the mind and the emotions that determine the contour, the shape, the actual action of the physical body, they think that they can really start playing games and that they don't have to actually speak about what they're feeling and thinking, and nobody will know. Now, this has been one of the greatest charades that I've seen this century, is that whatever you are thinking and whatever you feel is determined and exhibited by your physical body. So when you are excess in emotional ways, oh yeah, you're going to be overweight. There's no way. These are truly emotionally burdened individuals. And there's no way that you can tell me that you're not sensitive and that you are definitely not carrying a lot of emotional stuff, because that is what fat actually represents. Okay, individuals who have these huge, big chests, that's all they do is go lift weights every day, etc. These are very insecure, inadequate individuals that use this as a means of shielding their emotions. So when you see a person walk around the street like that, you know that they definitely have deep-seated inadequacies. And this is a means of them attempting to compensate. So it's like, okay, this is real interesting. You can't hide your emotions and what you are thinking. And it's only because people don't know how to read their own physical body or other people's physical body that they basically get snafu'd, I guess, and, letting these people tell them something totally different when the evidence is right there in front of their face. So, just sitting down and having a conversation with these individuals will let you know that, their inadequacies or their misperceptions or their low self-esteem. I mean, this all comes out. So you can see anger on people's face. There's no way that you can tell me that you're not angry and you can barely open your mouth because your teeth are so gritted to say hi. And I'm supposed to believe that you're not angry. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So it's like there's no such thing as a secret. So the idea that you feel that you cannot talk about these things that are bothering you, you're saying them anyway. They come out through your physical body. But unfortunately, the way that they come out, it disfigures, it distorts, and it destroys. So by the time you get to the grave, we knew all your issues. That's the point. We knew all your issues. You cannot hide. There's no such thing as secrets. And sometimes I have people come in and it's like, well, you're talking so loud. I don't want anybody to hear or whatever. And it's like, oh, that's real interesting. It's like, have you looked in the mirror lately? Okay, it has nothing to do with the tone of my voice. It's like everybody who looked at you knew something was wrong already. You didn't, there's no such thing as a secret. So this exclusivity or this idea that we think our stuff is so secretive that we can't talk about it, it is really a joke, and millions of people are dying every day thinking that they're keeping secrets. I mean, just to show you something that's very interesting, you can look at a woman's pelvis, you can look at the contour of her thighs and her legs, and you can know right away if she's been sexually molested in childhood or early adolescence. You can just look at her pelvis. I mean, these women that have tremendously knocked knees, their thighs rubbed together, etc., they have been sexually molested, and the psychological trauma of that has totally shifted the pelvis and the fat distribution to actually make a barrier to get to the perineum, the vagina. That is not how you're normally built. This is because of sexual molestation. And I'm telling you that when these women are willing to open up, they all give you the history that they have. They just, for whatever reason, felt that they could not, but their bodies told it. So I'm just saying that we just have to stop playing the games and recognize the greatest gift that we have is this physical body, but it talks. It communicates all the time, and when you take the time to really be sophisticated about what your body is exhibiting to you, you can always recognize that it really originated from the mind and from the spirit. What is happening with cancer? Well, having had cancer, which was a wonderful initiation for me, it is the scourge for the liar. Now, my grandmother used to always talk about, if you lie, you'll steal. I just never even understood what she was talking about. But I do understand this, that you do rob yourself of a high-quality life not being willing to be honest with yourself emotionally and mentally. And I have never sat with a cancer patient who was not living a lie. The job they worked on, the relationships they were in, the relationships with their kids, it's all contrived. But their low self-esteem and their need to be recognized and accepted by whatever they think out there is going to make them a better person is what they get up and strive to actualize every day, knowing that they hate it. So they continuously do this, that creates this toxic bloodstream that then causes these toxins to solidify in the body because they interfere again with the purification reaction, and they're out of here. So when these individuals are finally recognizing the fact that, it's a choice between going to the grave, being a slave to something or someone else, or finally beginning to allow yourself to be the real you and let everybody else know what that is, those are the ones that are able to recover and never have any problems. But it is truly a choice that they have made for many, many years to stay in relationships, to stay on jobs, to have relationship with children or spouses or whatever, that they know that if they had been in their right mind or living their ideal self, they wouldn't even think about doing. And they think that every day anyway, but they still lie and keep up the front. So you cannot have this disfiguration and think that it is not a reflection truly of what's going on with you emotionally and mentally. I just want to say one last thing about esteem, okay? And I did some little research on that and just looked it up. And esteem is actually a value. It is an estimate of something. And when we talk about self-esteem, we're actually talking about a value. When we look at what the definition of self is, it talks about interests. And I thought that it was really interesting that when I looked up the word interest, to have interest in something requires you to have a feeling about it. So self-interest means that you have to have a feeling about yourself, one that allows you to give yourself a value, which is an esteem. So when we define ourselves as something that when we think about our name or when we look ourselves in the mirror, that we automatically go into a discomforting feeling, it is the foundation for addiction. Now you want to know why people are addicts? That is why. It is because when they think about themselves based on the definition, the value, the esteem that they have assigned themselves, they automatically go into pain, and to get out of the pain, they use a substance or an activity. Now, see, you have to understand how much low self-esteem there is on the planet. So it has nothing to do with whether you're driving a big car or you wear $100,000 suits, if there's such a thing. It has something to do with the fact that when you look in the mirror or you recite your name to yourself, you automatically go into pain because the value of what you think you are does not make you comfortable. Now, this is all self-inflicted. It has nothing to do with nothing outside of you. So if you decide that being a black man in America is a horrible thing, then obviously every day you wake up, you got to do something about the pain. Oh, but this is real serious. you've got to do something about the pain. So therefore, when I wake up and recognize that my name is Joe Blow and I'm a black man in America and I don't have this and I don't have that and I don't have the other, then it's like, yes, where's the pipe? Where's the marijuana, et cetera?